Hi, Starshine. I'm going to share with you my best public speaking hack for practicing public speaking. And this is certainly something that I used all the way through the beginning of my public speaking journey. It was an opportunity for me to practice how to introduce myself, how to introduce She Talks, and sometimes even use some of my content and see how it landed. And it's certainly something that I teach the women, the female speakers within the Speakers Lab. And it's something that they do on a daily practice, and they find it just loosens them up. They get an opportunity to decide which words they're going to use, which ones land. And it also allows us to freely make those mistakes that occur. And it's good because it's in a casual setting. We're not in a professional setting, and we're certainly not being paid to speak. So we're more okay to stumble over our words and not get it quite right. Now, I'm going to give you some examples. Now, an example recently is going to a party where not everyone knew who I was, and they certainly didn't know about She Talks. And I've recently gone from being the confident speaker to She Talks Unleashed and Impressive. So I had an opportunity to play and use this. And when I was asked, hey, what do? I would say, I assist women to become unleashed and impressive. And they would say, oh, that's awesome. How do you do that? And then I would go on and tell them that I do that through public speaking, the power of public speaker training. Now, in the past, when I'd be in a networking event or introducing myself to professionals, I had a different approach because I had a different way of talking about She Talks. And I would practice this wherever I'd go. And I'm going to give you an example of how I started out. And when someone would say to me, what do? I'd say, I coach women to transform fear and take the stage. And then it would become, I assist women to overcome fear and boldly take the stage with confidence, authentic confidence. And I would sort of play with the words and stumble over the words each time. So each time that I said it to someone, which will be your case, you hear yourself, you'll go, that's not the word. Or you might even get them move the words around and find where they sit better, where they land with the other person more effectively. And then what I ended up with was, I assist women to powerfully transform any fear of taking the stage and get on the stage and share from a place of authentic confidence and powerful presence to then be able to land their message with their listener and inspire and transform them to action. Now, I ended up with bringing it right down to, I assist women to transform speaking blocks and powerfully take the stage with authentic confidence and presence, landing their message every time with their audience. And you can see, you can move it around each time and see which context works best. And certainly it allows us, it frees you up to then be able to take yourself into any situation and adapt that same pitch. It's called a pitch, believe it or not, that same pitch, that same introduction. And it can be used within different contexts. It can be fashioned for different people. And certainly if you're going from the left, introducing yourself here, and then you're moving over to another crowd and introducing yourself there, and they might hear you, you have an opportunity to say it in a somewhat different way. So my tip for this weekend, my public speaking hack, is to get out there and practice. Practice
From
how
Instagram,
you...
She Talks public speaking.
That'd be right. My phone tells me when I have a message, and that's a message from Instagram. I get a lot of work through Instagram, which is amazing. So my public speaking hack is to decide how you're going to introduce yourself, how you're going to introduce your beautiful business or your coaching, or the fact that you're a speaker and you need to take on this new identity. And that is certainly one of the first steps that I teach within Speakers Lab, the 3-month immersive speaker training, where I put women, 5 women, It's going to be again next year. The next one's in 2024. So I will be seeking 5 of you women to come and train with me and put you on a stage at the end. And you'll get a certificate and you'll be ready to take on your speaking career. And one of the very first things that we do is next after removing speaking blocks is we work on your identity. And I coach the women to transform their social media pages and their language. And I get them to identify as being a public speaker, and that you get to go out and introduce yourself as one. So if that is where you're at and you need to be doing that, my hack for this weekend is to go out. And when people say, what do? You can say, I speak on the stage, or I run talks, or I run a workshop where I'm up the front speaking, or I chair meetings, whatever it is for you, but get yourself identified as the authority and the speaker. So I hope this hack is fun for you. Come back and leave a comment and let us know how you went. All right, Starshine, enjoy your weekend.